edition of BBC News. In our next story, we examine a recent court case between Samuel Worcester and the state of Georgia. In recent years, Georgia has been passing a series of laws that has placed regulations on Indian territory. One of these regulations included the prohibition of non-native residents on Native American lands without a license. These laws came into conflict when Samuel A. Worcester and several other fellow missionaries refused to apply for a license. As a result, Georgia and Worcester and 6 others were arrested. But plaintiff Samuel Worcester has appealed to the Supreme Court on the basis that his arrest was based off of an unconstitutional law.
Plaintiff Worcester posits that the defendant's laws over the Cherokee Nation are unconstitutional. Let's head to the ground and see what the situation is down there. David Simon?
Thanks, O.J. Simpson. I'm here with Mr. Samuel the Sauce Worcester himself. Hello, Mr. Worcester. Could you tell me how this whole fiasco started?
Alright, that's what's up. So I'm a missionary, right? So I got to be a missionary out here, you know? So I went to the Cherokee Crib to do that. But then I found out the state of Georgia got this license requirement for us to live there. Like, what you mean by license? I even got no learner's permit, cuh.
But you brought this case on the basis that it's unconstitutional, right? Could you explain?
Okay, well, this is how it be, right? The Constitution says only the federal government can deal with separate nations. And in my opinion, if I'm being real with you, cuh, this law that Georgia implemented is in a direct violation of the law and the Constitution.
Okay, let's see what the Indians have to say about this case.
I have come, my brothers!
Wrong type of Indian. Get the Native American type, not this one. Okay, I think we have the right type of Indian now. What are your thoughts on the case?
Hi there. Yes, we support Sam Worcester in this case. Our people have brought multiple lawsuits defending our independence, and despite the numerous treaties we have signed with you white men, people continue to violate our sovereignty.
Alright then, thanks for talking to me. Back to you guys.
Thanks, David. The white people are truly back at it again.
Now let's go see our other correspondent, Hugh Janis, with the Georgian perspective.
Hi there, I'm here with Georgia lawyer and notorious respecter of different races, Paula Dean.
Well, the matter of fact is this case should have never happened before. Us Georgians know that we have already established our views on Native Americans, and these Native Americans are no sovereign nation. And Georgia's law is legal. Simple as that, honey.
You don't think the natives have the authority of the land granted to them by the government?
Of course not. These here are state affairs. And these missionaries are subjected to Georgian laws, and they have broken these laws, and now they have to pay for it. Worcester is guilty, honey buns.
Okay, thanks, Mrs. Dean. Back to you.
Thanks for the great report from the ground, guys.
Here's a simple graphic that we've compiled explaining the arguments for Worcester and the state of Georgia for our viewers at home. Worcester's arguments are as follows: that Worcester is in fact a citizen of Vermont and is thus not subject to Georgian law. That the Cherokee Nation are outside of the jurisdiction of the Gwinnett County of Georgia. That treaties with the U.S. declare Cherokee Nation sovereign and independent. That Worcester states that he is a missionary to the Indians under the authority of the President. Georgia's arguments are as follows: that Worcester broke Georgian state law by residing in Cherokee land without express permission of the Georgia governor. That Worcester is a citizen of the United States and therefore liable to adhere to state laws.
Now let's go to Steve with sports, where it looks like the Pirates are up on the Tigers 24-10. Go Pirates.
Wait a minute. Breaking news from Washington, D.C. The Supreme Court has given their ruling. Let's contact our reporters on the ground and see what they have to say about this historic ruling.
What do you see down there, David?
The Supreme Court has ruled in favor of Worcester with a 5-1 decision. Here, let me try to talk to Justice Marshall himself, who wrote the opinion of the case. Hi, can you please explain your decision to the viewers at home?
Hello. Today we ruled that Georgia's law requiring a permit is unconstitutional because the Cherokees have been identified as a foreign sovereign nation, and thus they reside in their land, not in Georgia's.
Could you please explain further?
Well, yes. This is where the identification of the Cherokees as an independent nation comes to play. The Constitution clearly states the power to negotiate with foreign nations resides exclusively with the federal government, and thus Georgia, an individual state, is violating the Constitution with this law.
Thank you for speaking with me. Back to you, Nasal Rod.
Thanks for the insight, David.
What a great example of how the U.S. truly respects native rights. The Supreme Court case will set a precedent over Native relations for the future of the U.S. The Supreme Court has ruled that all treaties with natives will be determined by the federal government, and unilateral actions by individual states is illegal.
What a life-changing ruling that will definitely be enforced and protect Native rights in the future.
6 years later.
Breaking news. The Cherokee population has just been kicked out of their land because Andrew Jackson has failed to enforce the Worcester versus Georgia ruling.